We're here with Martin from Fossil Stuff, and he's got a, is that the 280 or the 250?
That's 280, Pete, yeah.
280. We've just reviewed the 250 and we loved it. That's the new 280, which will be in the following issue. Do you want to talk us through it, explain about the materials and why you designed it the way you did?
Yeah, certainly. It's a high density polyethylene. As you can see, it's a two-tone material. It's CNC'd with basically, I think there's about 5 or 6 different cutters. So we're munching out the core inside with our big 1/2-inch cutter, then we go around cleaning up with a 1/4, and then all the detail work is done with a 3mm and a 2mm cutter. The whole idea of the machine is really to keep everything inboard, so all the ESCs, flight controller. I do believe there's not a problem with carbon frames, but obviously all the components are exposed.
No more breaking video transmitter antennas?
Well, let's hope not, anyway.
Yeah.
We obviously put an integral bumper on here to protect the
camera.
FPV camera. Motors are actually recessed into little counterboards, basically, and we've got the motor wire slots built into the arms there.
So that all adds additional protection?
Definitely. I believe it does. If we get a smack here, the motor's not going to get damaged.
Yeah.
Fairly big slots in the arms as well to keep the airflow running through the arms.
Yeah.
Integral XT60 connector that's just held in with a couple of grub screws here.
So nothing loose, no leads that can
no,
come off?
Actually, the VTX actually is mounted inside the top cover here, and there's actually a little opening there so you can get to your dip switches.
Yeah.
I've designed it around specific equipment. Whether that's the right thing or the wrong thing, I don't know, but people seem to be quite liking the idea that they can, that there's a home for everything, basically.
Yes.
On the bottom, I've got several holes here to mount a power distribution board. That seems to be going down really well. Yeah, it's
and they're selling really well as well.
They're going worldwide. It's absolutely mental. I can't believe it. Another nice little touch, I think, and other people seem to enjoy, is the whole top cover can just be removed with the 4 screws.
Yeah.
Literally, there's small aluminium pillars in here. Undo the 4 screws, the whole cover lifts off. You can access all the kit really quickly.
Got you.
I'm not sure whether you're aware, but I've actually in the process of developing an active tilt mechanism for the Mobius and the run cam.
Yes, I've heard about it.
This is actually the body of it. It's still in test. We had a bit of a jello problem. The base of the unit is really not thick enough, so we're making this thicker, putting more springs in for the return.
Yeah.
And that's the other point. Inside that top cover, we've got a little home for the servo that drives it.
Yeah.
Which is all running off the clean flight.
What will happen is it counteracts the tilt of the drone in
basically,
forward movement.
As the drone tilts down, the camera lifts up automatically, trying to keep the horizon as flat as possible for the crazy videos.
So takeoff and landing will be easier as well. You're not stuck with a permanently tilted camera.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the.
What have you got in the pipeline that you can tell us about? Look at the smile on his face. Where do I start?
I've got lots of ideas, Peter. I'm looking at another 250, possibly with carbon tubes, but that's probably all I'm going to say at the moment. I've got a crazy idea for an octo, very small octo. Whether that's going to come off or be feasible, I don't know, but I'll certainly prototype it.
And I suppose if you do produce it, we'll get it in the magazine to review anyway.
So you certainly will. You'll be the first to get anything new coming out of Fossil Stuff, certainly.
There you go, you heard that first.
Yeah.
What excites you about this part of the hobby? Why did you get into it?
It's just I was a tool maker by trade. I did my apprenticeship at the National Physical Laboratory in Teddington. So I've always been involved with making things. I run a business manufacturing fuel, water and waste tanks for the marine industry, which I've been doing for 25 years now. Been working with plastics for that long, so but I got into, I've always been interested in flying model aeroplanes, radio control gliders, thermal soarers, slope soarers, and fell into this at Christmas basically. Bought a drone off eBay, thought I could make my own, which I did. Put the drone on eBay and started selling them.
So has this happened in the last 7 months? Was it last
three or 4 months.
Right,
yeah.
So literally this is...
And I can't believe how a business can explode so quickly
It's because
it's
this
the social media.
industry is in total flux. It's
Yeah.
the most exciting part of technology.
Something is going on, and I can't put my finger on it, but I'm more than happy to stay with it. It's unbelievable. You know, I've been building tanks for 25 years and never had a response to my stuff, even though it's pretty well known within the industry. After 25 years, you do get known, but it's never grown as quickly as this. I can just see this almost taking over the tank business.
Well, I'm pleased because it's
Possibly.
something you're obviously passionate about as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's I'm making stuff which is great. Unfortunately, I don't fly them. I can hover it in the back garden. That's about it. But I'll be getting some goggles soon.
The most loaded question I can end on.
Yes, go on.
Is it indestructible?
I wouldn't say it's indestructible, but I am
Virtually.
offering a lifetime warranty. So
There you go.
I'd like to think, obviously, anything that breaks, I will replace it.
Somebody that stands by their products. Have you had to replace any?
Only one.
Out of
And
how
that-
many
that-
do you reckon you've made?
Probably about 120 now. So it's still early days. The one that broke was basically a design flaw, which I've rectified immediately, and touch wood, nothing yet.
Because I'll be honest, I've tried to break it 250 and I can't.
Well, I know Neil from iDrone was smashing it with a £7 hammer at the show for days on end,
At
and
Western Park.
I think it was Western Park, and it survived. So
There you go.
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for talking.
Thank you,
to us.
thank you, Peter. Cheers.